How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to go over the update for the Yuga chain lightning build. Pretty much where we're going with it. We're just trying to basically push this build into profound. We have pushed it up to like 6.5 billion so far. Things I purchased yesterday with the stuff. I bought an activation medium spell burst or burst activation. These are pretty expensive right now. So this didn't actually increase my damage by very much, so I wouldn't actually recommend buying it early. I did buy it basically knowing that I'm going to end up playing Carino 2 at some point, so I figured it's like, well, I'll try it on this. It should still be a DPS increase, but it only increased it by maybe like 500 million, so given it costs 1400 FE, probably not the best use of money. So let's go over the other things that I upgraded instead and the recommendations to do that. So I did end up buying a T0 Corrupted Photophobia. This was really cheap. It basically cost me like 10 FE or something like that. I did end up dropping a Surging Inspiration, so I got a new one that is actually perfect now. My rings are still garbage. I haven't touched those at all. But I did buy a second wand. I just bought a second wand with this Max Focus Blessing Stacks mod on it. I think it's probably best to just basically go search for wands with this and with your +2. You're going to find these for fairly cheap compared to what it's going to cost to get other things. So you can still craft on these, like unlike old dream crafting, you can still craft on these with max focus blessings on them. So keep that in mind if you do just want to buy something that already has this. This takes a lot of clicks to actually roll, so if you want to save yourself time or money, again, just basically start with the actual wand itself and just buy one with it on here. I think I paid 230 for my wand here that had basically, full tier 1 plus the max focus blessings and a couple T2 mods. It was like 220 FE, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to buy it. If you want to get ones with full T1 with the mod, you can get them. They're about 300 to 350, so that's probably a better route to go to save some money rather than having to go and roll it yourself. So just keep that in mind. I did make a couple defensive changes to the build as well since the last time we were here. I moved this down to get this extra focus blessing on inflicting freeze and then additional damage against frostbitten enemies. And then I did swap out a couple of the corners here. I got this new one here with less elemental damage taken, and then chance to gain tenacity and agility blessings whenever I get a focus blessing. And then that meant I did swap out a starlight here for my max spell burst instead. And then I swapped out another corner here, so I'm down 2 jumps overall in order to get this convert some physical damage to elemental, and then this regains additional life based on missing energy shield, since we did go to a full ES version of the build. This is basically we're required to do so, and then we are again running it with the full. You have to run 5 supports here in order to get this without having extra sealed mana on your gear. You need to end up running this just to still have a little bit of sealed mana left over. And then we are just using a base version of this chest. It can't actually roll any different mods, so you just buy whatever you get. Pretty much next steps for the build, I think the plans are going to be, we need to get a ring with the curse on hit on it, so that we can drop the biting cold here. So we need to get curse on hit on a ring so that we can drop biting cold, which will allow us to pick up another damage euphoria here. So basically Secret Origin Unleash, or most likely what it's going to end up being is putting on the activation medium spell burst, since we have it, and then use that to push the damage. And then basically from there it's just going to be probably replacing the necklace and pushing for all the T1 T0 mods we can get across the gear, and kind of see where the character kind of hits from there, since we have just T2 mods on our belts and our rings things right now. So we're going to basically push those and kind of see where it goes. But let's go ahead and showcase a map of what I've been doing. I know some people were interested in the strategy I've been doing to make money as well, which is a strategy that came from this person named Jsplit, PoE, inside of my Twitch chat. He is using this strategy, which is basically just forcing your standard boss drops here with some extra monsters on it, along with compass nodes here, which is just basically a lot of extra drops on compasses, specifically for these big three, which have nice valuable compasses attached to each one of them. And then with the Eterna tree here, he has extra points to push this all the way. I do not. But without that, we're basically just pushing this tree, and then we're using this with a few different compasses here. And the compasses that we are using, we're not actually chasing cards with this at all, because the drops we are getting are basically all baked in. Like, we're not increasing quant for anything. It's just the drops that are guaranteed basically from the boss. We are running this silver Eterna compass here. The silver Eterna compass here to basically guarantee Eterna bosses. And then we are just running this soldier compass here for additional groups of normal monsters and additional groups of magic monsters. So we're just spamming this, and the point of this is basically to just get a lot of pages, or a lot of the snow paper. And we're just using this to basically ensure that we can quickly cycle the league mechanic, since we're having a lot of success with it being very profitable, more so than other things right now. Mistville, I think, is still going to be the most profitable, but the league mechanic itself is very profitable itself. So we want to basically make sure we're taking advantage of that and getting in there as much as we can, just because the league mechanic is pretty fun itself as well. So we've been enjoying that. Defensively, this build, still isn't perfect by any stretch, but it's getting there, and it's pretty good. So we'll see. We're going to stay on this, try to basically farm out enough money to make the swap over to Carino 2, most likely, because I think Carino 2 just does everything this character does, just slightly better. So that's going to be the plan, if that's what we're going to do. Yeah, a couple other things we can kind of go over or recommend is, again, you do this, you pretty much get this. When it comes to actually getting your pages rather for the league mechanic, you want to kind of because you're typically ending up needing to run a few maps after you've actually completed the league mechanic, it is a good rule of thumb or good recommendation to try to not start your league mechanic right away, right as you get to 200, because you might be able to just wait until you either get chests in the boss room, or until you actually get one of the level 5 monsters. You'll see them, they have like a rainbow icon on the map. You can always wait for those. If you actually get to the point where you're already at like 400 pages, I would probably just push it right away and don't wait. But if you are trying to min-max it a bit, it's worth basically giving it a map or two before you start it, just to give yourself a little bit of extra buffer for pages, and then give yourself an increased chance at actually getting the level 5 monsters basically already in there, or level 5 monster tiles. So by doing that, you can, again, just ensure that you get a little bit of extra loot towards your stuff. So I have a precious chest here. Unfortunately, I don't have 200 pages, but this would be a good time and a good example of why you would want to wait. Just because, again, this chest here, if it's with it being a mimic, would be a chest node inside of the thing. So that's one of those things you can kind of guarantee. The best loot is coming from the chest nodes inside the league mechanic, so anything to do to increase your chances of getting those is going to be highly recommended. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And other than that, if you want to catch me on stream, I'll still be streaming after this video as usual, basically every night. So if you have any questions, pop in stream or leave comments down below, and I'll get to them. And other than that, see you in the next one.